going to make some shrimp curry today. It is a Jamaican staple, an Indian staple. We're gonna take all of those flavors and put them together in one. We're gonna start by cutting up our vegetables. We have some red bell pepper here, some green bell pepper. We have an onion, and we're gonna throw in some potatoes. So just start by getting a fine chop on your bell pepper. Go ahead and take the core and the seeds out of the bell pepper because we don't need that part. And then we're just going to slice the bell pepper up into thin slices like so. Okay, so get a nice thin slice on your bell peppers. You can use half a bell pepper if you'd like. We're gonna use a whole one because we do have a lot of shrimp. So this is about as thin as you want your bell pepper to be. Just nice and thin slices. It's gonna get really tender when we cook that shrimp down. We'll put this aside in a bowl and then we'll move on to our green bell pepper. Same thing, you're gonna take the cores and the seeds out. And give it a nice thin slice. And if you want to, you can just use green bell pepper or you can just use red bell pepper. You don't have to use them both, but we're going to use both because, like I said, we have a lot of shrimp today. So we'll put those to the side and then we will go ahead and slice up our onion. I'm only going to use half an onion here for this one. Go ahead and peel the outer layer of the onion off. We don't need the skin. And then same thing, we're gonna just make nice thin slices here for the onion. Like so. Half an onion goes a very long way. Okay, so we have a white potato here. You can use a Yukon potato. You can use any potato you have in your pantry, a red potato. Go ahead and get that peeled up. We're going to add this to our shrimp curry, just for a little heartiness flavor. Once we get this all peeled up, we'll go ahead and give it a nice cube, nice dice on them. You can make them as big or as little as you want, really. We want ours to be bite-sized. Okay, we got our potatoes all peeled up. We're gonna go ahead and give them a nice dice. I like to cut them in half so that I have a flat surface to cut the potato with. And then just cut them into little strips here and dice them up like so. You can cut them down one more time if you want them to be smaller than this, but this is actually the perfect size for our curry. And set those aside in a bowl like we did with our other veggies. The potato adds a nice starchiness to the curry, so it's gonna kind of help thicken it up as it cooks down. Go ahead and heat your skillet up over medium heat. And then you're going to add some olive oil or avocado oil. This is avocado oil here, about 2 tablespoons to your skillet. We're gonna go ahead and saute our vegetables first. So once that skillet is nice and hot, you wanna add in all of your bell peppers and your onions that we sliced up earlier. Go ahead and add everything into the skillet. And we're gonna saute them for about 2 to 3 minutes. Go ahead and mix your veggies around just so you can get a nice sear on them, a nice saute. We want them to kind of sweat down a little bit and get tender. So 2 to 3 minutes should do the trick here. Once you get a nice saute on your vegetables and they start to sweat down and wilt just a little bit, that's when you're gonna start adding in your other ingredients. So we're gonna start by adding in our potatoes. And go ahead and saute those along with your vegetables for another 2 minutes or so. It already smells so good, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and add in some ginger and some garlic, about a teaspoon of each. Some minced ginger, some minced garlic. Smells delicious. Anytime you're making anything with shrimp, that's the last ingredient that you add when you're cooking is the shrimp, because if you add it too soon, it's going to be super chewy and gummy, and we don't want that. We want our shrimp to be nice and plump when we add it to the curry, so we'll be adding that in last. So the Scotch bonnet pepper is optional. Once you take the stem off of the Scotch bonnet, you can poke a little hole in it. You can dice it up if you really like spicy food. Dice it up, put it into your skillet. But for this one, we're gonna go ahead and keep it whole, take the stem off, and it's gonna release some of the heat into the dish. But we're just gonna put it in there whole and remove it when it's time to eat. It already smells amazing. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our shrimp. Like I said, this is something that we add last. Once we put our shrimp in there, we're gonna move kind of quick here and season everything up. So we have our curry powder here. We have a mix of mild and spicy curry powder. Go ahead and add that to your skillet. We have some turmeric, some cumin, some coriander, and some salt here. And then for this one, we have thyme, garlic powder, and onion powder. Go ahead and give that a nice mix. Get all of those seasonings infused into your peppers and your shrimp. So this is Argentinian red shrimp. So it looks like it's already cooked, but it's not. It's actually raw. It's one of my favorite shrimp because it's already peeled, it's deveined, it's cleaned, and it has a really fresh seafood taste. It's not very shrimpy, if you will. It's very good. This is so beautiful. It smells so delicious, you guys. I wish you could come in here and smell this kitchen right now. We're gonna just give that a couple seconds to saute. And now we're gonna go ahead and add in our coconut milk. Like I said, when we first started, this is kind of a mix of so many different flavors and cultures. We have the traditional Jamaican curry flavors, the Indian curry, Thai coconut curry. It's all just a delicious pot of shrimp curry. My way. And you guys will enjoy it, trust me, it's super delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of chicken broth into this because we don't have a lot of liquid right now, and those potatoes are so starchy, it's gonna cause the liquid to completely dissolve. So we wanna add a little bit of chicken broth. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and pour it in the bowl with the coconut milk so we can sop up all that goodness. We need it all. So that's the perfect amount of liquid. It's gonna absorb into our curry. The potatoes are kind of gonna sop it up. The shrimp is gonna sop it up. All the flavors are gonna combine. We're gonna cover this and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and take out our Scotch bonnet. We don't need that anymore since we didn't dice it up. It just added a little bit of heat to the dish because we want some spicy curry. And this is good to go. Our potatoes are fork tender. Our shrimp is nice and tender. Let me see. Our shrimp is nice and tender and plump. As you can see, fork tender potatoes, that's what you want. And if you like it really saucy, keep it like this. If you don't, you can add a little bit of a cornstarch slurry and make it thicker, but this is actually the perfect consistency for us. Go ahead and sprinkle in a little bit of green onion just for some added flavor, and then we'll use the rest to garnish our dish with.